Hello friends, my name is the real Emile and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic. This time taking a look at the 1992 Honda NSX Type R. This car was requested by Inferno the Fox and it is one of a fair few of the NSXs in the game. This particular one is going to run the racing mod because the Type R statistically is one of the better of the NSXs. 423 horsepower, mid-engined rear-wheel drive, a fair amount of torque, 1050 kilos. Not quite sure how this car's going to do. Mid-engined rear drive cars are kind of odd around here. Some of them do really very well, others sort of do kind of average. We've had a JGTC NSX, I believe, and that didn't do hugely quick, but we will have to see how this one is going to get on. Anyways, it is going to have 6 laps of the Motorsports Land Chats at the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is a Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak Edition that's at a time of a 27.710, which the NSX is unlikely to beat. But, you know, it'll be interesting to see where this car places. Interesting to see where it places among other sort of Japanese car legends. We've had Supras and RX-7s, and they've never really done hugely well. But we'll have to see how the NSX does. Of course, naturally aspirated as you'd expect. Turn-in is pretty fantastic. The grip afterwards, not so much. Grip afterwards, a little bit lackluster. Also, that engine note is not the best sounding engine note in the world, it has to be said. A 34.254 opens us out, although that was a lap that had a bit of an issue through there. So yeah, usual issue with naturally aspirated engines, there's not really any torque in it, which is an issue, because torque is kind of useful around a small track like this, because it sort of avoids you having to change gears all the time. The car actually has pretty long gear ratios for what it is as well. Can't say that was unexpected, but it is worth pointing out. 31.759 on its first flying lap though, that's pretty darn decent actually, as we're going to careen into a tyre barrier and wipe out on this lap. 759, I believe that's quicker than the RX-7 Infini, which is pretty good. That was actually one of the quicker Japanese sports cars we've had, so yeah, apparently the NSX a bit quicker than those ones. It's not quite on Wiegert Vector terms yet, but I don't think it ever was going to be, just because it's down on power compared to the Vector. Ooh, there we go. There's enough torque for it to get out of its own way and to sort of not cause it too much of an issue. It's still not as much as I would realistically like, but then again, it never really was going to be. Pull it around that last corner quite nicely. 31.374. Okay. A little bit quicker and we've lost it. I knew it was going to happen. As far as this car goes to drive, the turning grip is amazing. The rear end doesn't have all that much grip on it, it has to be said, which is a bit strange when you consider what the NSX is usually known for. It sort of feels like driving on ice when the rear end kicks itself out, because it doesn't really feel like you have too much control over the rest of the car, which is an issue. Right, there we go. Try and build up the revs, build up the speed as we go for this final lap. Sort of missed the apex on all of the corners, and we're going to spin the car again. Well, there you go. 31.374 though certainly is nothing to be ashamed of with the NSX. Probably could have gone quicker, but my driving letting it down slightly. I don't really think it could have gone much quicker though, if I'm being brutally honest. We will finish at lap number 6. You can sort of see what I mean about the rear end not having much in the way of traction here. Which is a bit strange, you know. Maybe I would have expected more rear end traction from this, considering, yeah, I guess if all the weight's over the rear, it does mean that it's more of a ballast. Anyways, 31.374 is the time for the NSX. It is quicker than the Astra from last time, but then again, you'd sort of expect and hope an NSX would be quicker than an Astra. I think it might have gone quicker than the JGTC car. I'll have to have a look at the leaderboard. Either way, it probably could have gone quicker. I don't think by much though. I think it would have probably 31.2, 31.1, but I don't think it would have got anywhere near, say, the Vector or the GT40. Anyways, let's go see where it places on our leaderboard. On to the leaderboard then, and the Honda NSX Type R goes into 38th place with a 31.374, doing a little bit better than the Astra from last time. It does squad itself in between the R390 road car and the Toyota Supra Castrol GT, which is a pretty good time for the NSX, especially considering its undesirable drivetrain for this track. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Hot Lap Classic. As always, if you want to request cars for this series, you can do so in the comment section, and go into the description for a full request list form. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.